Entrepreneurship 101. Entrepreneurship 101 is created to empower, for sure, entrepreneur all over the world. Another episode, for sure, that will empower you. Vision, purpose, and why they are more than the business plan. And, of course, legendary co-host Mr. Michael T. Brown. Once again, Mr. Michael, welcome to our podcast.
Episode
So,
4. I am super excited about our topic today. I think it's going to be a great
a great one indeed that will empower all over the world. People are listening to us. I hope you can take a little bit nuggets of our topic for today. So, vision, purpose, and why they are matter more than the business plan. So, Mr. Michael, what is all about our topic?
one. Vision, purpose, mission. Powerful, powerful declarations, ideas that I think we're going to be able to tap into today, Daniel, that is really going to teach, motivate, and inspire our audience. There's a spiritual teaching that says, where there is no vision, the people perish. To have vision is to really take ownership of your goals, your dreams, and to give it legs, if you will. And we want to get into some of those principles today. I'm excited.
Yes. So, Mr. Michael, tell us what is the tangible plan? Was there a specific moment in your own journey where rigid business plan failed you, but a clear vision saved you?
Yeah, well, I can't say I had a. I'm getting an echo, Daniel.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, I can't say that I've had a business plan that failed. I will say that I had a vision that succeeded. And I think a big part of my personal vision that really took legs was when I stepped out on faith and decided to leave the school system and go out into private practice and into the consulting world. And it built over time. And I believe once you use your skills and the gifting that's been given to you, it's it's important to have a plan, right? But there must be a vision. And when the two meet, vision and a plan, things take off. So I'm coming from the viewpoint of, let's not scrap or erase the plan. It has its purpose, but we need to make sure that the plan aligns with and matches the vision. You need to unmute yourself, Daniel.
Sorry. Yes, indeed. It will be good if they are aligned together.
That's
So,
right.
how do you distinguish between a vision and a purpose? And which one do you believe need to come first to build something truly enduring?
I think purpose is 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 the north star, right? The purpose is what's in us. It's the calling that we have. Purpose, the reason for which a thing exists. Once we know why we're here, then now it's important to cast that vision, and that plan comes along to help us fulfill our purpose and make sure that the vision is seen through. Some people may ride down the street and just see an abandoned building and say, hey, what a waste. Why didn't someone take that building and do something with it? And they just think about it and they allow, that idea to go on unfertile ground. Someone else will see that same abandoned building and they'll have a vision for maybe a thriving bookstore or for a coffee shop or for a place to house what they've been called to do. Same two people drive down the street. One had a vision. The other just may have been going for a ride. Somebody may be listening today and you may see a need in your community. You may see a need in your family. You may see a need in your workplace. I encourage you, don't be the one who just keeps going for a ride. Cast a vision, particularly when you feel compelled or feel called to it. And I encourage you with that. The problem you see, you might be the answer.
Yes. Thank you for that encouragement, Mr. Michael. The magnetism of clarity. You argue vision and purpose matter more. In practical terms, how does a compelling vision function as a better tool for attracting talent, investors, and customers than flawless 50-page financial model?
People tend to get on board with a well cast vision. And it's hard to reach a vision that's not been clearly articulated. So whoever the entrepreneur is, whoever the visionary is, if they want to attract talent, they need to demonstrate and model that which they want to attract. I've heard it put this way, it's better to see a sermon than hear a sermon. When people see you working hard, when people see you casting vision, when investors know that you're working hard to try to deliver on the promise that you made, when you're trying to show up and deliver for customers or clients or constituents or wherever even in your family, people tend to invest where they know that person is invest worthy. And I think that's a constant reminder. If you want to attract talent, be one of the hardest workers. Clearly articulate the vision and be willing to go the extra mile. There's a saying that I really like that says, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go together. And that's where partnership, the power of partnership, can really come into play.
The power of partnership, just like us with
That's
Mr.
right.
Michael.
That's right, Daniel.
We want to congratulate us because this is our fourth episode. Yes, yes, yes. The power of partnership. Indeed. Let's talk about the decision making compass. When faced with a tough strategic pivot or unexpected opportunity, how does clearly defined purpose act as a decision making filter in a ways that business plan is if then scenarios cannot?
Sure. It's important to make informed decisions based upon good information, right? Our decision making, I think it's so important that we send it through a process of, thinking about who it is that you serve. When you show up and you're serving people, that's the compass that we filter it through, right? That leadership servant model, that the idea, the principles that are built upon service and delivering, everything falls under that, right? Great businesses, great organizations, great families, you name it, knows their audience and they're willing to do what it takes to serve that audience. They study it, they use data, they question them, but in many ways they spend time with them, right? You think about a great chef or a great bartender, right? They go to work each day and they get constant feedback. Was the steak good or not? Did you mix the drink well or not? That feedback we can either get defensive about and tell them that they're wrong, or we can be a student and be a learner, be a grower, and actually make the changes that's going to meet the need of others. I would imagine, Daniel, right? You're in your in your day job being a chef, you get constant feedback, right, about the food. I have a question for you. How do you take that information and use it to meet the needs of your customers.
Well, I take it that a good in a positive way. I make sure that those critics or something else that they are talking about or comment about, I'll make sure that my service will be better, best, excellent in their expectations. Which
Excellent, excellent,
because
excellent
most
service. Yeah,
yes, excellent service because most of the time people they get mad or angry if people have this comment, but they should not because this will make you better, best, excellent on what service you are creating or what products you are creating.
yeah,
It's
that's good.
something that will give you more challenge, but at the end it will improve your service, your products, or anything that you are creating.
That's right. That challenge creates growth. You know, a lot of people, I think, get it twisted sometimes, Daniel, when it comes to entrepreneurship with this mindset of, being a business owner or an entrepreneur, you have no boss, you have no one to answer to. But in many ways, you might have more people to answer to because your customer gets to tell you how well you're doing. I think it was one entrepreneur who said, uh, when you're a business owner, your clients or your customers are your boss, and they have the opportunity to fire you at any point, right? And they often show how well we're doing by the dollars and by their attendance. And while they might not be our boss, they certainly are the people that we show up to serve. And their response matters. Their feedback matters. So for you inspiring entrepreneurs, remember to receive the feedback, make the necessary adjustments, and it might not line up exactly with the business plan you started out with, but we know plans can change. And the individual who's flexible and adaptable without changing their core principles, their core values, right, tend to get the best success.
As people receive the comments with grace, don't be
Well said.
mad.
Well said.
Make it as inspiration to be better, to be the best.
Sure.
So let's talk about the resilience factor, Mr. Michael. In times of upheaval, plan often become obsolete overnight. How does a deeply rooted purpose provide a different kind of resilience and adaptability for a team?
Great question. Deeply rooted beliefs helps keep us grounded in the calling and in the mission. I like the idea of being married to the mission. When you understand the mission, it's you'll bounce back quicker from adversity. You won't quit. You'll have grit. You'll have mental toughness. You'll work hard. Ultimately, realizing that when we're on purpose, then we're progressing. When we're not on purpose, we're regressing. And simply put, when you understand your why and you understand what you're called to do, the how will find its place. Somebody might have a dream or an idea or a vision, and they're thinking about how am I going to get it done? The how matters. Don't get me wrong, it does. But deal with the what and the why. What are you called to do? The purpose. Why are you doing it? The how tends to come into place after that. And the resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity, simply put, you won't quit. Or you certainly, it'll take a long time before you quit when you understand what you're called to do, why you're there to do it. Matter of fact, in many ways, quitting at that point is not an option. It's an all-in mentality. I was watching a podcast a while back, Daniel, and the gentleman was sharing his story, and he said he was struggling early on in life, trying to find his way. And a mentor asked him an important question. And I've been asking other people that question as well. This idea of, are you interested in reaching your goals or are you committed? Are you interested or are you committed? And many people would say interest is more passive, committed is an all in mentality. Uh, what's your thoughts on that, Daniel? This whole idea of interest versus commitment. When you think about that, what does those terms mean for you and what stands out?
For me, I will do them both. I'm
Mm,
interested to my goals as well as committed to it because
mm,
if you combine together, those workforce will give you more something else that other don't have.
that's right.
Success, right?
Yeah.
Success, which is people think that success is easy to get, but it's hard to do. You need hard work, plus
That's right.
dedication, plus what? Consistency, plus your dedicated vision or mission in life or your goals in life. So I
I
will
like
do it
that.
both.
I like that because the word interest or commitment are not inherently positive or negative. We can be interested or committed to good things or things that are not so good. And
Yes.
it's okay to say, an area of interest might not be my calling or my passion. But once we decide that it's something that we're called to do, that we're driven to do, it's important to maintain those interests, but be willing to turn them into commitments.
Yes. Very well said, Mr. Michael. So let's talk about the trade-off tension. Have you ever seen a company face a real painful trade-off between a profitable path in their plan and a harder path demanded by the purpose? What does doing the right thing look like in that scenario?
Yeah, I think the harder plan might be the right way to go. But when you're doing what you're called to do, it's not that it's necessarily going to be easy, but it tends to flow, right?
Yes.
Calling, purpose, passion tends to flow. Things tend to move in the right direction, even if it takes time. If you just seek profits, are you doing it by abandoning the purpose? Because that might be short lived profits. At the end of the day, when purpose and passion meet, purpose, the reason for which a thing exists, passion, I'm motivated, I'm excited about doing it. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but it sure means eventually you should have a breakthrough. It should flow. Things should flow. We should build traction, gain momentum, right? And it may be seasonal. You might have to go through some difficult seasons. But the part of the country I live in, spring always follows winter. So if you're going through a winter season, know that spring is coming. Know that the bottom line financially might follow you sticking to the course, staying the course, continuing to build and grow, not just search or seek money, because money often follows good customer service and delivering on the promise.
Delivering that good thing and help others people. One of the key of being successful,
That's right.
helping others with passion. And Mr. Michael, when vision evolves, what is the business plan is updated, but can a core purpose evolve without betraying its original promise? How do we navigate refining or expanding a vision as the company grows?
Yes, in many ways, you may start with a vision and the journey may, the vision, can you mute yourself then? I'm getting that echo again. Yeah, right. You may start with a goal in mind, and the goal might change a bit over time. At the end of the day, if you're still in alignment with your calling and your purpose, the business plan can change. As the business grows, the entrepreneur should grow. As the entrepreneur grows, the business should might grow, evolve, and change, right? But if we're more married to just our initial thought, some businesses don't make it in the long run because they didn't have the flexibility and the adaptability. We can be flexible without abandoning the purpose and the mission. A bend, don't break mentality. You know, Daniel, I like using sports metaphors because I believe in many ways sports is a metaphor for life, right? There's so many commonalities. And two teams plan to play each other, and you may come out and have one idea of what your game plan should be. But there's a defense, there's opposition that's coming up against you. And you got to be able to play loose, read and react, and still maintain your core principles. We don't have to choose between being principled and being flexible. We need them both.
We need them both. Yes, definitely. And the ultimate metric. Mr. Michael, if success is not solely defined by hitting plan projection, what is the most meaningful metric or sign that you are truly fulfilling your purpose and moving forward? Your vision.
I think the results matter. Are people responding? Are you seeing success? Are you seeing reward? Money is a great indicator of that for someone who's in business. Because if you're in business, you know, for too long with the intention of being profitable, that's where an individual has to decide, is it a profession or is it a hobby? And it's okay whichever ones those are, as long as it aligns with your vision, right? So I think the results matter. I think fulfillment matters. When you lay your head down at night and you feel like you fulfilled your calling, you're fulfilling your calling, your purpose. When you're adding value to others, when you're making the lives of others better, no amount of money can necessarily give you that sense of fulfillment and reward. Money's nice. Material things are great to have. In many ways, right? It's better to have it than not have it, right? You know, because we're able to, you know, enjoy it and also contribute to others. But the sense of fulfillment, the sense of adding value, the sense of I'm making a difference in the world goes a long way. My dad used to say something that really stood out that sticks to this day. And I'm paraphrasing a bit here. He said, serve three like you'd serve 3,000. Sometimes we get so caught up into numbers, but numbers often follows impact. Make the impact, and you'll tend to be okay in the numbers direction, whether it's number of people you reach, number of followers, or the amount of money in the bank. Those are just reflections in many ways of the impact that we're making. So, Daniel, keep doing what you're doing, my friend. You are making a tremendous impact with, you know, your abstract essay, Entrepreneur 101, Food 101, the many platforms that you're giving others opportunities to share their gifts. It's helping take you to the next level, my friend. Keep doing what you're doing.
Likewise, Mr. Michael, and thank you so much for being my partner. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. Yes, people, in today's volatile business landscape, an exhaustive plan is often a map to the world that no longer exists by the time you finish drafting it. What endures and what truly becomes your competitive advantage is a crystal clear vision of the future you are committed to creating and deeply felt purpose that explains why the future matters. Mr. Michael, can you wrap up our discussion for today?
Yes, sir. When vision, purpose, and mission meet, get ready to catapult into your destiny. Purpose, when a person says, I know why I am here. Vision, I cast a vision to how to get there, and I'm married to the mission. You couple that with hard work, integrity, prepare for the results to follow. Another great podcast, sir. Thanks again.
Yes,
And all the best to the listeners.
all the best. I hope you will be successful of what are you doing right now. And we are here to empower you. Please do listen every day, not every day, yes, every day, every
Hey, some people are going to
episode.
listen every day, Landon. Yes, yes.
Every day, people, please listen to our podcast, Entrepreneurship 101. So, Mr. Michael, would you like to plug in something? Your book, your coaching?
Yes, they can find me at brownsleadership.com or even just Google Michael G. Brown. I'm out there on different platforms. Not hard to find. Hey, keep putting the work in. Get the results, people. We're pulling for you.
Yes.
You got this.
Got this. You got this. More to come, people. See you soon.